90% of the fish that we love to eat or enjoy, such as tuna, swordfish, and halibut, have been overfished since the 1950s. This affects everyone in this room because all species rely on other species for survival. So if one species were to become extinct, everybody or everything that depended on that species would also be affected and become endangered. Today I'm going to talk about the global consequences of overfishing, the environmental effects of overfishing, and a little bit about what's being done about it. Some of the global consequences. The Environmental Protection Agency once considered our oceans to be inexhaustible, but our oceans are now on a global crisis as more and more people are competing for fewer and fewer fish. Billions of people around the world rely on our oceans for a main source of nutrition and income. And now more than ever, our oceans are under pressure to meet the needs of growing populations in developed countries and for the growing appetite of seafood in developed nations. Also, advances in fishing equipment is making it possible for us to catch fish further and further away from home. This also has an impact on the smaller fisheries that are having a problem making a living. There's also illegal, unregulated fishing that contributes to the decline in fish stocks and damage to the environment. What we eat today can determine whether tomorrow's generation will enjoy the ocean's riches. So now let's talk about some of the environmental effects. The increased volume of overfishing worldwide has a serious effect on the ocean as a whole. When commercially valuable species become overexploited, other species in the habitat that share the same ecosystem are also affected. For example, overfishing of large sharks results in the increasing of ray species, which feed on smaller fish, not giving them a chance to reproduce. This is just one example of one of the nets on a fishing vessel, and as you can see, these nets are not discriminating against sharks, sea turtles, smaller fish that just get sucked up into these nets and we don't even eat and they just toss. This has major effects on the ecosystem. So those are some of the environmental effects and what is being done. Many governments have implemented fishery and management policies to curb the effects of overfishing and the environmental impact. The Sustainable Fisheries Act that was passed by the NOAA, which is a federal agency, mandates the use of annual catch share limits and accountability measures to end overfishing. It also provides for widespread market-based management through catch shares and calls for increased international cooperation. So 90% of the fish that we love to eat are at risk of endangerment. Instead of tuna, halibut, and swordfish, we will be left with algae, plankton, and jellyfish. And a jellyfish sandwich doesn't really sound too good to me. We are fighting a war against fish and we're winning. But this problem can be solved with the use of marine reserves, and we need to ensure that our fish is coming from fisheries with sustainable fish populations, because sooner or later there won't be plenty of fish in the sea.